let's have a look at this problem. 3 times root 27 equals 3 to the power of n. Find the value of n. So in order to solve this, what we need is we need to rewrite this sum using 3. So we need to do something with this basically, because this is not really in a state where we can see what the power is. So let's look at it. Now, if that was the cubed root of 27, that would be lovely, because we know that 27 is 3 times 3 times 3. So if 3 times 3 times 3 is 27, 3 to the power of 3 is 27. Therefore, the cubed root of 27 is 3. But it isn't the cubed root. It's the square root. So what we've got ourselves here is a surd. So that's the first thing we've got to be careful of. So I'm just going to go off here and I am going to write root 27 as a simplified surd. So that's the first thing we've got to know. How to simplify a surd. 27 is not a square number. So what we need to do is think, does it have a factor that is a square number? And yes, it does, because we could write root 27 as root 9 times root 3. Okay, root 9 times root 3 would give us root 27. And of course, we can then, because 9 is a square number, we can then solve that to just make 3. So we end up with 27 being equal, root 27 being equal to 3 root 3 as a simplified surd. But it's still not quite how we want it, because we want it in powers. So can we write this using powers? Well, we know that this 3 is being multiplied by this root 3. So we could just write 3, and 3 would be, if we wanted it to a power, it'd just be to the power of 1. And then we can multiply it by, and what is our notation for writing a root as a power? Well, it would be 3 to the half. So there's lots of stuff that we need to know and feel confident about. So we need to be able to simplify a surd, and then we also need to know how to write the notation using indices. So now we are in a position to maybe think about solving this. I'm going to substitute in. So I've got 3 times, and then I've changed this root 27 to, and let's put a 1 there, so we've also got that with the indices. Okay, so I can rewrite it like that. And then the last bit of information that I need to be confident about is the rules of indices. If we're multiplying these 3's together, we would add the indices. So therefore, that is going to equal 3 to the power of 1, 2.5. So we could either write 2.5, or we could write 5 over 2. And then finally, we just say, therefore, n equals 2.5, or if you prefer, 5 over 2. Both perfectly acceptable answers. And that's how we deal with that problem.